I'm Patrina Dobish, and I am one of the board members of the Iyengar Yoga Association of the Midwest. And I just want to thank you for coming to this class. Bob will talk about the campaign that you're donating towards. And I will give you his bio. So let's see if I can get it there. Okay. So Bob has been a dedicated practitioner of Iyengar Yoga for 25 years and teaching in the tradition since 2000. He strives to inspire students to creatively engage with the vast wisdom of Iyengar Yoga, to find practices for holistic health, enhancing self-awareness, and constructing meaning. He is currently teaching on Zoom through Chicago's Yoga Circle. And we'll put Yoga Circle's website in the chat. We thank you all for, again, the Iyengar Yoga Association of the Midwest has been working very diligently to try to help the teachers and the studios in the Midwest. And we provided some support, and in return, the teachers are giving a class as a gift to the whole community. So we thank you, Bob, for that as well. And now I will take my spotlight off.
Thank you.
And now it's yours.
Before we get further into the class, I'd like to take a moment so that everybody sets up their mat in the best possible situation. I have my mat placed lengthwise to a wall, and you see I've used the block to create a distance of about 8 to 9 inches between the edge of the mat close to the wall and the wall itself. So take a moment to do that, and you can use your block as a spacing device if you have trouble eyeballing distance. I'll give you another minute or so to get that set up. I have a small folded blanket upon which I'm sitting to chant the invocation to Patanjali. So once you have your mat in position, sit on some height and cross your legs in swastikasana. Position your feet so that each foot comes underneath the back of the opposite knee. You can make your choice as to which shin you want to come in closer towards you. Take one of the blocks behind you. Bring your hands together on the block. Press the hands down to elevate the side ribs up and away from the top of the waist. Keeping the torso lifting up, withdraw the navel towards the inside of the lower back and descend the top of the buttocks so that the sides of the waist are lengthening from an upward movement of the rib cage and a downward movement of the buttocks. Little by little, diminish the amount of effort your arms are using to lift the chest. Let the chest be responsible for its own elevation. Join your palms together at the center of your chest. Place your hands into a prayer position and line your thumbs up along the length of your sternum bone. Draw your inhalation up the side ribs, and as you exhale, close your eyes from the top down to the bottom. I'm going to chant the invocation to Patanjali, and you're welcome to join me doing that all together and not in one of the traditional methods of call and response. Om
Yogena chitasya padena vajam malam sharirasya chavaidhyakena yopagarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjali ranatosmi abahu purusha garam Shankha Chakra Siddharim Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Puranam Patanjalim Hari Om. Maintain the lift at the sides of the chest. As you exhale, bring your head down. Take your hands down onto your thighs with your palms facing up. Slowly lift your head. Quietly open your eyes. Change the cross of your legs. I just want to make a couple of remarks about the Poor People's Campaign, which is the charitable foundation for which I am working. The work of Dr. Reverend William Barber is much like the work of B.K.S. Iyengar himself. And I think they make a nice marriage coming together in this class. Both of these visionaries have created space and are trying to forge pathways to lift people up and to promote creative transformation around a moral center based upon the principle of nonviolence. In Light on Yoga, B.K.S. Iyengar goes further to define ahimsa, one of yoga's moral precepts, not only as non-violence, but as a loving embrace for all creation. And that sense of love and inclusivity is at the heart of Dr. Reverend Barber's work. His goal is to uplift people and unite people across lines of gender, age, social class, sexual orientation, race, and physical ability. And in many ways, that is part of the legacy of the work of B.K.S. Iyengar, who opened up the practices of yoga to people all around the world, regardless of their individual situations. So I think the work of both of these men comes together around the ideas of nonviolence, love of all creation, and creating a spirit of inclusion. So with that said, extend your legs forward in Dandasana and separate them about hips width apart. We're going to go for Marichyasana number 1. Press down into your right heel. Use both hands behind the back of your left knee. lift the left leg up and drag the left heel close in towards your buttock bone. Try not to present the inner edge of the left foot right up against the inner right thigh. Give a little bit of space there. Take both of your hands to the very front of the left shin. And as you continue to press down into your right heel and move the front of the right thigh down, use your hands. Pull the front of the left shin in towards your left front ribs and lean your left front ribs towards the front of your left thigh. From the shin coming towards the chest and the chest moving towards the thigh, see that these two things might issue. One, sit down with the top of your left buttock. And two, start to lift up through your left side ribs. Now hold the left shin with the right hand only. Reach up with your left arm. Use the leverage from your right hand, pulling the right shin in to keep the left buttock bone sitting down, and reach the left arm up to rise the side ribs off the top of the waist. Then bend your left arm at the elbow, put your outer elbow to your inner knee, take your right hand behind you onto the block. Press down into both heels. And as you inhale, lift the sides of the chest up. As you exhale, push the left arm against the inner left knee and turn by bringing the front of your waist from the left to the right. Turn by moving your left shoulder blade into the front of the chest and spreading your right front ribs to the right. Take care as you turn in towards the right leg, that the right leg is not wandering to the right, but rather you're pressing down steadily into the right heel, moving the front of the right thigh down, and standing the little toe side of the right foot straight up towards the ceiling. To get a good idea of the movement of your ribs, try to keep the bridge of your nose in line with your sternum bone. Inhale, press the heels down, lift up with the side ribs. Exhale, push the left arm against the inner left knee, turn the front of the waist from the left to the right, bring the left shoulder blade into the front of the chest, broaden the right collarbone, spread the right front ribs to the right. Then come back into the center, extend the left leg straight, keep the legs slightly separated, press down into your left heel, and then take your fingers to the crease at the back of your right knee. Drag the right heel in towards you and place it in line with your buttock bone close into the blanket. As you press down onto the right heel, catch both hands, as you press down onto the left heel, catch both hands at the front of the right thigh. Pull with your hands to bring the right shin close in to the front of the right chest and lean the right front of the chest onto the front of the thigh. From those two things coming close together, like squeezing a tube of toothpaste, sit down with the right buttock and elevate the right side ribs. Now, continue that effort in the right leg with the application of your left hand. Reach your right arm up to get that much more lift of the right side ribs. Lift the arm to lift the side of the chest. Keep the ribs elevated as you place the outer elbow to the inner knee. Bring your left hand behind you onto the block. Press down into your left heel. Move the front of the left thigh down. With every inhalation, ascend the side ribs. And during your exhalations, press your right elbow against your inner right knee and turn the torso according to these principles. Turn the front of your waist from the right to the left. Bring the right shoulder blade into the front of the chest. Spread the left collarbone. Broaden the left side ribs to the side. Take care as on the first side, that as you turn in towards the left leg, that you're pressing down onto the left heel, keeping the front of the left thigh firm and downward moving, and the little toe side of the left foot lifting straight up towards the ceiling. Keep your head so that the bridge of the nose is in line with the sternum bone, that you're getting more accurate feedback on the turning of the rib cage, not so much a quick movement of the head and the neck. And now come back into the center, extend both legs straight, and then come to a standing position. You can put your blocks on the middle height on the side of the sticky mat that's closer to the wall. And then stand with your feet together in Tadasana. For those of you who have indicated to me that you're on your menstrual cycle, separate your feet hips width apart. Bring your arms at your sides. Press down onto the ball mounds of your big toes and spread the balls of the feet wide from the big toes to the little toes. Press down onto the ball mounds of your big toes and steadily lengthen the arches of your feet back towards your inner heels. As the weight comes more and more towards the heels, connect that with using the quadricep muscles to draw the fronts of the thighs towards the backs of the thighs. Move the fronts of the thighs towards the wall behind you. Then press the soles of your feet down. Take the top of the buttocks down along the backs of the legs towards the heels, pressing. And on the front side of your body, lift the sides of your pubis up towards your navel. Lift the side ribs up. Bring your arms in front of you. Interlace your fingers. Turn your palms away from you. Firm your tricep muscles into the midline of the body. And lengthen your bicep muscles forward towards your palms. Open your palms away from your face. Press into your heels. And as you exhale, slowly lift your arms up overhead. Take the top of the buttocks down towards the heels, pressing. Lift the sides of the pubis up towards the navel. Reach the arms up towards the hands, make the triceps steadily moving onto the upper arm bones. Lift the biceps up towards the inner wrists. Now that's the work of the arms for the arms. Let the arms now connect to creating an effect in the chest. So as the arms lift up, let them carry the side ribs up away from the top of the waist. And at the same time, press into the heels and let the downward movement of the buttocks lengthen from the bottom side of the waist. Slowly bring your arms in front of you. Look into your palms. Reverse the cross of your fingers. Extend your arms forward. And then slowly lift the arms up overhead for Urdhva Badangulyasana. Press down into the heels of the feet and lift up through the palms of the hands. Open up the sides of the torso with that movement in two directions. Send the side ribs up towards the hands. Draw the top of the buttocks down towards the heels. Now slowly bring your arms forward. Release the catch of your fingers.
Take your hands onto your hips. Step your legs wide apart. If you're watching the screen, you might be surprised that only 2 postures have removed 20 years of my age and 20 pounds of my weight. That's the power of Iyengar yoga. Make the outer edges of your feet parallel. We're moving for Uttita Parsva Konasana. Turn your right foot, right knee, right thigh out to 90 degrees. Lift the ball of your left foot up and pivoting on your left heel, turn your left toes slightly towards your right foot. Align the right heel with the arch of the left foot. Extend your arms out to the sides. Firm the triceps and lengthen the biceps. Lift the inner left ankle to the outer left ankle. And press down on that half circle of the outer left foot. Move the front of the left thigh back. Bear weight into your right heel. Marianne, it looks like you're getting ready for Virabhadrasana 1. We're getting ready for Uttita Parsva Konasana. So square your torso with the position of your legs. Lift up through your side ribs. Press down onto your right heel. Exhale. Unlock your right knee. And then enter into the pose by softening and lengthening your inner right thigh towards your inner right knee. Take your right hand down onto the block. Reach your left arm up overhead. Take the left arm up just like Uttita Trikonasana at first. Now, for a moment, look down, everybody. Look down. And when you're looking down, determine that your right knee is actually above your right ankle. And if you need to move it, let the movement be a function of lengthening the right groin towards the knee. Then look forward. Hit the outer right knee into the right arm to tuck the bottom of the right buttock under you. As the bottom of the right buttock tucks under you, push the front of the left thigh back, and from those 2 actions of the legs, turn the front of the waist from the right to the left. Press your right hand on the block, turn the upper chest from the right to the left, turn the head to look up at the left arm. Roll the left tricep down towards your face, and as you exhale, reach your left arm overhead with your palm facing down. So this is one of our basic postures, and it's really the first one which gets us in touch with the side body. Now on the left side. And as we worked in Tadasana, let's attempt to open up the left side body by pressing down onto the outer left heel, and at the same time, extending the left pinky finger away from there. So move the left heel down and reach the left pinky finger away from there. Now press down into both heels. Slowly lift up through your left arm to come upright. Keep your arms extended. Take your legs to wide and parallel. Turn your left foot, left knee, left thigh out to 90 degrees. Lift the ball of your right foot up and pivoting on your right heel, turn your right toes slightly towards your left foot. Align the left heel with the arch of the right foot. Lift the inner left ankle to the outer left ankle. Press down on the half circle of the outer left heel and move the front of the left thigh back. Bring weight into your left heel. Press into the left heel. Unlock your left knee. Just bend a little bit. Don't come into the posture any further from the knee. Keeping weight in your left heel, soften the inner left thigh and move it towards the inner left knee. When your left knee comes above your left ankle, take your left hand on the block, reach your right arm up overhead, look down to start. Look down so that you know, oh yeah, my left knee, it is above the left ankle. Then turn to look forward. Put weight in your left heel as you soften and lengthen the inner left thigh towards the inner left knee. Tuck the bottom of the left buttock forward into the body. Jane, you can go 1 more inch with your left knee towards your left ankle. There you go, good. As the bottom of the left buttock tucks into the body, move the front of the right thigh back, and you may get a sensation that the waist is turning. Go with that. Turn the front of the waist from the left to the right. You warmed that up in Marichyasana 1. Press your left hand on the block. Turn the front of the upper chest from the left to the right. Now turn the head to look up. And as you're looking at your right arm, roll the right tricep down towards your face and turn the palm to face down. Then reach the arm overhead with the palm facing down. Now it's the right side body. So lift the inner right ankle to the outer right ankle, press the outer right heel down, and against that stationary position, lengthen the right pinky finger as far away from there as possible. Now press down into both heels, lift up through your right arm, through your right arm as you straighten the left leg, come upright. Keep your legs to wide and parallel. Take your arms down. Now, with as little fuss as possible, take your blocks from behind you and bring them in front of you. If you need to step your legs closer together and then widen them again, go ahead and do that. Make the outer edges of the feet parallel. We're going to go for a variation of Prasarta Padottanasana, which accentuates a little bit extension in the side ribs. With your hands on your hips, press onto your big toe mounds, and now lift both inner ankles to the outer ankles. Thank you, Todd. So that weight comes onto the outer heels. Move the fronts of the thighs back and lift the side ribs up off of the top of the waist. Exhale, come forward. Put your hands on the blocks. Start out with your elbows under your wrists under your shoulders. Look forward. Take weight into your heels and move the front thighs back. And at the same time, press into your hands and extend the side ribs forward. Move both shoulder blades into the front of the chest. Take care that as the shoulder blades move into the front of the chest, that the organs in the abdomen don't get thrown heavy onto the navel. So move the shoulder blades back to front, but recede the navel towards the inside of the lower back. Now from here, we're going to further accentuate the length of the side ribs by keeping the legs in Prasarta Padottanasana and extending the torso and arms as you would in Adho Mukha Svanasana. So slide or walk your blocks forward. As the arms reach forward, take the side ribs with them. But make sure the waist gets opened with the fronts of the thighs moving into the backs of the thighs. Relax down with your head and neck. The legs are anything but relaxed. Draw the fronts of the thighs back and extend the arms forward so that the side ribs
open up. The sides of the waist, open up. Now, keeping the head as passive as possible, bring the arms back towards the legs. Wiggle the legs a little closer together. Take your hands on your hips. Come upright. And then come and take a look over here. This one, I'm going to present a demonstration of the posture, and then I'll teach the pose while you're doing it. Once we get into this posture, you won't really be able to see the screen. So I'm hoping that my instruction is loud enough and clear enough. So I have the 2 blocks on the high height. You can choose to take a lower height if you want. And I'm stepping my feet together in between the blocks. I'm bringing my hands down to the blocks and bringing my left leg back for Parivrtta. Take a look at my left leg. When I step my left leg back initially, I did not put the heel down onto the ground. I'm pointing the left foot forward, almost parallel to the right foot, so I can move the front of the left thigh into the back of the left thigh. In my front leg, I'm moving from the groin and pressing into the inner heel. Taking the hands on the blocks, extending the sides of the torso forward. Now, from Parivrtta, we're going to take a variation of Parivrtta, Parivrtta. So watch here. Everything is staying in place except for my left hand. I'm taking my left hand on the block forward, and then I'm crossing it over towards the little toe side of my right foot. And I'm using this to lengthen the left side of my torso and to grow enough in the left side ribs that when I take my left hand to this block and my right hand to the wall, I can go for Parivrtta, Trikonasana, revolving triangle pose. Now, for those of you who are on your periods, you can stop right here and Parivrtta, Parsva and not go forward into Parivrtta, Trikonasana. Here we go. So I'll give me a cue when you guys are ready for action. I also didn't mention that in those first 2 poses, not only did I shed 20 years and 20 pounds, but I grew my head of hair again. So here we go. Stand with your feet together in between the blocks in Tadasana. If you're on your period, separate your feet hips width apart. Press onto the ball mounts of the big toes. Lengthen the arches of the feet back towards the inner heels. As the inner heels press down, firm the fronts of the thighs towards the backs of the thighs. Press the feet down to elevate the side ribs. Exhale, come forward. Put your palms onto the blocks. You can choose the height of the blocks that works for you. Step your left leg back, but don't take the left heel down yet. From your upper inner left thigh, extend back towards your inner left heel. From your upper inner right thigh, push forward into your inner right heel. At your left quadricep muscle, move the front of the left thigh into the back of the left thigh. Then, from the back crease of your knee, lengthen your left calf slowly and steadily down towards your left heel. Many of you will be able to touch your left heel down, not everybody. It's not essential that the left heel makes contact with the ground, but it is important that it's reaching towards the ground if it's short of contact. From the outer thighs into the midline of the body. Let that help you project the sides of the torso forward. Press into your hands to reinforce the extension of the side ribs. Turn the front of your waist, a moderated turn towards your right leg. Now, keeping the front of the left thigh pushing back, with your left hand, extend the block as far forward as you can get it, and lengthen the left side ribs towards the left hand, and extend the bottom of the left waist back towards the left heel. Bear down onto your right big toe mound and firm in with your outer right hip. Now cross the block over to the little toe side of the right foot. As you continue to turn the front of your waist from the left to the right, pin the outer right hip over to the left. Use this intermediate stage of 3 poses to open up as much room on the left side torso as possible. Then, take your left hand onto the block where your right hand is. Put your right hand on the wall with your right arm bent at the elbow. Squeeze in with your outer legs. Lengthen the torso out of the pelvis, especially lengthen your left side ribs. Then press your left hand onto the block. Turn the front of your waist from the left to the right. Bring your left side ribs forward towards the wall. Press into your right hand. Lift your right side ribs upward towards the ceiling. Press your left hand. Bring your left shoulder blade towards the wall. Press the right hand. Move the head back away from the wall. Keep the right big toe mound heavy, the outer right hip becoming firm into the body. Then take the left hand to the block that's forward of the little toe. Bring the block on the inside of the right foot. Right hand comes down from the wall. Step your left leg forward. Come upright. Change the sides. So now the left side of your body is facing the wall. Step with your feet together. Unless you're on your menstrual cycle, then separate the feet. Press the feet down. Lift up with the sides of the torso. Bring your hands down to the blocks. Keep your left foot where it is. Step your right leg back a nice long distance. Don't take the right heel down at first. Keep it lifted up so that you have a certain kind of force into that leg. From the upper inner right thigh at the groin, lengthen back towards the inner right heel. And from the upper inner left thigh at the groin, push forward into the inner left heel. Move the front of the right thigh into the back of the right thigh. And press down onto the left big toe mound to firm the outer left hip into the body. From the back crease of the right knee, start to lengthen the right calf slowly down towards the heel. If the heel touches the ground, you have that added benefit of stability. It's not necessary, but it is helpful. Press your hands onto the blocks. Lengthen the sides of the ribs away from the pelvis. Firm in with the outer thighs. Firm in with the outer hips. Turn the front of the waist, a moderate turn from the right to the left. Now bear down onto your left big toe. With your right hand, extend the arm and the block forward as much as you are able on the inside of the left foot. As the arm goes forward, 2 things. Reach the side ribs along with the arm and press back into your outer right heel.
almost like Parsva Konasana, where you are opening up the side ribs from the heel pressing down and the hand reaching in the other direction. Now, if you're on your period, you're going to stay at this variation. Otherwise, take your block onto the little toe side of your left foot. Pin your outer left hip into the body as you turn the front of your waist from the right to the left. Now take your right hand on the block where your left hand is. Take your left hand onto the wall. Firm in with your outer legs. Press down onto your outer right heel, your left big toe mound. Keep the length of the right side ribs. Then press into the right hand. Move the right side ribs towards the wall. Press into the left hand. Spread the left side ribs up towards the ceiling. Press into the right hand. Move the right shoulder blade towards the wall. Press into the left hand. Broaden the left collarbone and take your head slightly back away from the wall. Keep the left big toe mound, the outer right heel firm. Oops. Now take your left hand down to the block where your right hand is. With your right hand, catch that block that's forward of the left foot. Bring it back so it's on the inner line of the left foot. Now step the right leg forward. Come upright. Everybody, turn your sticky mat so that now the short edge is faced into the wall. We're going for Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Once you've turned your sticky mat, come onto your hands and knees, facing in towards the wall. Position your inner thumbs, your inner index fingers right at the wall. Open the other fingers wide. Press the palms down flush. Place your feet hips width apart. If you're on your period and you want to take your feet a little wider, go ahead with that. Firm your triceps inward. Extend your biceps between your inner elbows and your inner armpits. Look slightly up the wall to draw the shoulder blades into the front of the chest. But as you do that, pull the navel towards the lower back. Exhale, lift up with the hips and the legs. Relax down with the head and the neck. Now in Pune, they teach Adho Mukha Svanasana from the back leg of Parivrtta. So what can we pull from Parivrtta to inform the legs in Adho Mukha Svanasana? Press into the big toe mounds, spread the balls of the feet, big toe to little toe, and start to lengthen the arches of the feet back towards the inner heels. Reach the inner heels back to take the upper inner thighs back. And then from the back crease of each knee, start to lengthen the calf muscles downward towards the outer heels. As the arms reach to press into the palms and the legs draw backward, lift your side ribs up towards your hips. Now this is a chance after those asymmetric side extensions of trying to create harmony and levelization between the left and the right side ribs. So be sensitive to the extension of the side ribs. Open them up as the thighs move back and the arms reach forward. Relax down with the head and the neck.
And now slowly come down onto the hands and the knees. We're going to go one more time for this. Sort of trying to create symmetry in the middle of postures which are asymmetric. Press the palms, reinvigorate the arms. Look up, draw the shoulder blades into the front of the chest and the navel moving to the back of the waist. Exhale, lift up with the legs and the hips, relax down with the head and the neck. Now keep the head and the neck passive. Press the arms, move the legs back. You got all those mini instructions. Now, something a little more global. Pay attention to the opening up of the side body as the arms reach forward and the front thighs move to the back thighs, lifting up with the hips. Open up the side ribs. And then come down onto the hands and the knees. And come and take a very quick look. We're going next for Parivrtta number 1. And I just want to show that if for some reason Parivrtta 1 is not available to you, because usually it's a knee situation, you can use a chair and sit sideways or Parivrtta on the chair. Otherwise, I'm returning to my small folded blanket with my legs in Dandasana. Now, there are a couple of different ways to teach this posture. I'll go this way. Especially in reference to how that blanket sits under you. For tonight, put the blanket evenly under both buttock bones. Then, bring both of your legs to the left. Place the top of the left ankle across the arch of the right foot. And as best as you are able, see that your femur bones are almost as parallel as they were in Dandasana. Take your block in line with your outer right hip. Press your right hand into the block and sit down with your left buttock bone. Lift up through your side ribs. Take your left palm to your outer right thigh. Take your right hand on the block, now behind you. Attempting, as best as you are able, to maintain the left buttock bone descending. When you inhale, lift up through the side ribs. And when you exhale, use your hands to turn. Turn in this manner. Pulling with the left hand, bring your left side ribs across the front of your body towards your right side ribs, and broaden your right side ribs to the right. Pulling with your left hand, take your left shoulder blade into the front of your chest, broaden your right collarbone. Now this is another one of those tricky twisties where sometimes the head and the neck may just be wandering, maybe turning quickly, and the rib cage and the sides of the chest hardly moving. So best as you can, align the bridge of your nose with your sternum bone and create the lateral movement from the rib cage. You know, part of the Iyengar yoga methodology, the Iyengars would say that you can remove stiffness in the torso through the standing, seated, inverted twistings. That is based on some movement in the torso, the rib cage. Now come back into the center, bring your legs in front of you, both buttocks on the blanket, lock now to your left side, bring both legs to your right,
Top of the right ankle resting into the arch of the left foot. Press your left hand onto the block that's at your right, press your left hand onto the block that's at your left hip to sit down with your right buttock bone. Lift up through the side ribs. Take your right palm to your outer left thigh. Walk your left hand around with that block more in line with your sacrum. And create a rhythm whereby every time you inhale, your awareness is lifting the side ribs. And as you exhale, you're just going to use your arms to turn the ribs around. Pull with your right hand. Bring the right side ribs around the front of the body towards the left side ribs. Spread your left side ribs to the left. Pull with your right hand, move your right shoulder blade into the front of the chest, broaden your right collarbone. See if you can get that movement to come into the rib cage. And then come forward, extend the legs straight. Now this one I'm going to show quickly. We're just going to take one more sort of symmetrical position. I'm turning my blanket towards the wall, and I'm going to sit on the blanket with my toes curled outward, taking Baddha Konasana at the wall so I can put my hands on the wall like this. So this is another one. I'm asking you to look away from me, to look away from the screen, but the wall is a good guru. Sit on your blanket, take the soles of the feet one against the other, curl the toes outward where they meet the wall, tuck your buttocks as close into the wall as possible. If you can make a very acute angle between each thigh and each shin, you're moving in a good direction. Take your hands on the wall. Now, pretty much what we did at the beginning of the class for the invocation, throughout the class, we want to open up the sides of the torso by movement in two directions. So first, sit down with the top of the buttocks and lift up the sides of the pubis. Against that, press your hands on the wall and use the contact of your hands on the wall to ascend the side ribs off of the top of the waist. Descend the buttocks off of the bottom of the waist and lengthen the two sides of the waist. Then, press the feet one into the other. Think of this sort of as the X plane. Press the heels in and extend the inner thighs out. This was that action from Parsva Konasana that you were lucky enough to see Todd demonstrating so nicely. Move the inner thighs to the inner knees. Pull the outer thighs from the outer knees back into the buttocks. And then grip the outer thighs into the buttocks to help sit the top of the buttocks down. Elevate the side ribs and descend the top buttock. Looking into the wall begins a progression of introspection. You don't have anything to look at but that wall. Let it coax your eyes to look in towards the back of the head. And now, whichever way works best for you, come away from the wall. And then come and take a look over here. Because of the positioning of the camera, I'm going to demo this going to the right. And then if I mirrored, I would be showing you my backside. I don't know how helpful that will be. So we'll see how this works out. We're going to take 2 stages of Parivrtta, the gate latch pose. So come and watch. I selected the mat with the short edge to the wall, and I put a blanket here. The blanket's not necessary. It's for the comfort of the shins, and I'll be using a block. So standing on my shins, first I'm going to do a distance test and take my right leg out to the side so that the right big toe mound is up on the wall, the right heel down on the ground, and the inner edge of the right foot in line with my left knee. Then I'm going to bend my right leg at the knee. I'm going to create this 90-degree angle that you were working on in Uttita Parsva Konasana. Hands on the hips. Pressing down into my left shin. I'm moving my outer left hip into the body. Pressing into my right heel. Moving the inner right thigh towards the inner right knee while I turn the waist away from the right groin. I'm coming down with my hand on the block. And I'm going to use this close contact between my right arm and my right leg to create a couple of effects. I'm leaning into the leg to move the groin to the inner knee. And then I'm pinning the bottom of the right buttock into the body, turning the front of the chest up. Then I'm going to take the block up, extend my right leg straight, put my right arm on my right leg with the palm facing up, reach my left arm up, and come towards the wall for Parivrtta. The left arm is the leader, the right arm is the follower. So let's go forward with this. Let's go right into this now. Do you think I should show from behind? I'm going to show on my right side again. So this won't be a mirror. You're not going to be seeing the mirror. Adjust the distance so that when the right leg is extended straight, you can push the right big toe mound into the wall with the heel on the ground. And then bend the right leg into a 90-degree angle, look down. See that your left knee is just under your left hip, and your right knee is just over your right ankle. Align the inner edge of your right foot with the front of your left knee. Press down onto your left shin. Firm in with your outer left hip. Press into your right heel. Move your inner right thigh towards your inner right knee. And as your right groin goes to the right, turn the front of your waist to the left. Keep that turning. Exhale, come inside of your right leg. See if you can go to the low height of the block, just so that those right side ribs come close to the inner right thigh. Right hand down, left hand on the left hip. Press into your left shin. Firm in with your outer left hip. Press into your right heel. Move the inner right thigh towards the inner right knee and tuck the bottom of the right buttock forward into the body. As the bottom of the right buttock comes forward into the body, turn the front of the waist from the right to the left. Now try to hold on to some of that lateral action. Lift yourself up just enough to extend your right leg straight. Turn your right palm up. Reach your right hand towards the wall. Lift your left arm up. Roll the left tricep towards your head and extend your left arm towards the wall. Now this is very reminiscent of Uttita Parsva Konasana. When you're inhaling, press your left shin down, firm in with your outer left hip, push your right big toe mound into the wall, and grip the bottom of the right buttock forward into the body. When you're exhaling, lead with your left arm,
reach the left arm towards the wall. Let the right arm follow. Then turn the front of the waist from the right to the left. Turn the front of the chest from the right to the left. And then rinse and repeat. Every exhalation, the left arm is leading the reach to the wall as the left shin presses down with the outer left hip pinning in. The right arm follows the lead of the left. The waist and the chest turn right to left. Now last little piece. Press down into the left shin. Reach the left arm. Reach, reach. Touch the wall with your left hand and press your left shin down. Open up the left side ribs. Then press the right big toe on the left shin. Lift upright. Take your hands onto your hips. Bring your right leg in and turn for the second side. Take a moment to adjust your distance. Once you've adjusted that distance, bend the left leg at the knee. I don't know if you're going to get a good view now. Position yourself so that your right hip is just above your right knee. And your left knee is just above your left ankle. Align the inner edge of your left foot with your right knee. Have your hands on your hips. Press down into your right shin. Pin in with your outer right hip. Press into your left heel. Move the inner left thigh towards the inner left knee. Draw the bottom of the left buttock into the body. Lift up through the side ribs. Now as you exhale, bring your torso inside your left leg. Take the block as low as you can get it so that your left side ribs come as close to your inner left thigh as possible. Right hand on the right hip. Press into your right shin. Press the right shin down, firm in with the outer right hip. Press onto the left heel. Move the inner left thigh to the inner left knee. Grip the bottom of the left buttock into the body and turn the front of the waist from the left to the right. Turn the front of the chest from the left to the right. Now hold on to that imprint. Lift up just enough to extend your left leg straight. Take your left arm over your left leg with the palm facing up. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Press your right shin down, firm in with your outer right hip. As you exhale, reach your right arm towards the wall. It may not come there at first, but hopefully little by little we'll get it to go there. Open up the side body by pressing the right shin down and reaching the right arm towards the wall. After the advance of the right arm, let your left arm follow the lead, moving along the front of your left thigh. Turn the front of your waist from the left to the right. Turn the front of your upper chest from the left to the right. Rinse and repeat. Press the right shin down, firm in with the outer right hip. Exhale, reach the right arm towards the wall. Reach that arm from the bottom right rib. Let the left arm follow, then the twist. Turn the front of the waist left to right, the front of the chest left to right. Now last reach. Press the right shin down. Exhale, reach the right arm. Touch the wall. If you touch the wall easily, walk the hand up the wall higher to open up the side body. If you haven't touched the wall, last chance. Reach the hand, touch the wall. Now press down into the right shin, press into the left big toe mount. Lift yourself upright. Take your left leg down. And then come take a look over here. I'm going to show this pose. We're taking sort of the first wink at Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. And I'm going to show the pose with a blanket. Some of you may not require a blanket. Some of you may need more than a blanket. But watch what I'm doing. I'm taking that same distance, right foot to the wall. I have both buttock bones on the blanket and my left heel towards my left groin. So, in which case might you need the blanket? If you came here and this knee was higher up, old school, you see people doing this, which is a nice support if there's pain in the knee, but it may end up locking the groin and not allowing the groin to soften and open. So instead, lift the buttocks up to release the groin. So just since you're watching, I'll do a very quick demo. Remember this? Now from here, I don't want to hold some of you back who may be more practiced in poses like this. First goal, get the hand to the wall. If that was a struggle, you can lengthen here by walking the hand up the wall. If that came readily, you may want to start walking the arm down the wall towards the little toe side of the foot. So there are a lot of possibilities depending on your level of practice. Let's go, everybody. Todd will give me a cue when you're ready. The right leg extended to the side. The sole of the right foot pressing into the wall. Left leg bent at the knee. The left heel close to its own groin. Press and spread the ball of the right foot where it makes contact with the wall. Move the front of the right thigh down. Sit the right buttock bone down. Lift the side ribs up off of the top of the waist. Use your hands. Turn the front of your waist from the right to the left. Turn the front of your chest from the right to the left. Lift your left arm straight up. Bring your right arm on top of your right leg with the palm facing up. The left arm is the leader. Exhale. Sit down with your left buttock bone as you reach your left arm towards the wall. Now, you don't have to touch the wall all at once. This can open up in stages. So as you did in Parivrtta, reach with the left arm towards the wall. Then advance the right arm along the right leg. Then turn the front of the waist to the left. Turn the front of the upper chest to the left. Sit down into the left buttock bone. Exhale, reach the left arm. Follow up by extending the right arm. Turn the front of the waist to the left. Turn the front of the chest to the left. Now last piece. Sit down with the buttock bones. Exhale, reach the left arm. Touch the wall. Touch, touch. Open up the left side ribs. Now either, last little bit of the pose, either you're striving to touch, or you're walking the left hand up or down the wall, depending on your level of practice. And slowly come up. Go to the other side. Extend the left leg. Into the wall. It's not necessary that the heel touches the wall, but get the ball mound of the left foot to press and spread against contact with the wall. Take your right heel into contact with your right groin. Press the ball of your left foot on the wall. Move the front of the left thigh down. Descend the left buttock bone down. Press onto the top of your right foot. Sit the right buttock bone down. Use your hands. Lift up through your side ribs as you inhale. And as you exhale, turn the front of your waist from the left to the right. Turn the front of your chest from the left to the right. Try to keep that turn. As you lift your right arm up, Place your left arm with the left palm facing up along your left thigh. Exhale. Reach the right arm towards the wall. Descend the right buttock bone. As you reach the right arm long towards the wall, open up the right side body. Let the left arm follow, advancing along the top of the left leg, and only then turn the front of the waist from the left to the right. Turn the front of the upper chest from the left to the right. And then go at it again. Press onto the top of the right foot, sit down with the right buttock bone. Against that stability, reach the right arm towards the wall. From the top of the right waist, extend the ribs to the hand, extend the hand towards the wall. Let the left arm follow the lead of the right. Turn the front of the waist left to right. Turn the front of the upper chest left to right. Last little bit. Keeping the buttock bones down. Exhale. Reach the right arm. Touch the wall. Touch the wall. Now stages. Either you're striving to touch the wall with the right fingers, or you've touched the wall and you're walking the hand up the wall to get more length in your right side ribs, or you're walking the hand down the wall and bringing the left side ribs close into contact with the front of the left thigh. Then descend the buttock bones. Inhale, lift up through your right arm, come upright. Everybody lie on your back. We're going to go for a couple buttock lifts into Chatushpadasana. So lie back. No blankets are necessary. Separate your feet hips width apart. Position your heels about a hand's distance from the bottom of your buttocks. Place your upper arms close along your side ribs. Point your forearms and your fingers up towards the ceiling. Press down along your tricep muscles and ascend the bottom of the shoulder blades into the front of the chest. Press along your outer shoulders. Broaden your collarbones. Draw the outer shoulder blades towards the inner shoulder blades. And lift the inner shoulder blades towards the region of the sternum. Now keep that ongoing. Arms creating an effect in the chest. Press down onto the soles of your feet. Don't go right away for lifting the buttock. First, move the top of the buttocks away from the lower back and towards the backs of the knees. You'll notice that that starts to stimulate the gluteal muscles. Once the gluteal muscles are awakened, press down onto the feet, engage the middle of the buttocks, and lift it up into the front of the pelvis. Take the middle of the buttocks up to the front of the pelvis. Take the front of the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Then, bear down onto your big toe mounds. Firm in with your outer hips and your outer upper thighs. Exhale, slowly bring your buttocks down. Keep your arms active and in position for one more lift. Press the arms. Lift the shoulder blades into the front of the chest. Press onto the soles of the feet. Start to lengthen the top of the buttock to the bottom of the buttock. Let that come first. It's a good idea to deconstruct these actions. What comes first, what follows, so that you have a good idea of how to put these things together. Then engage the middle of the buttocks. Lift the middle of the buttocks up into the front of the pelvis. Lift the front of the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Once the buttocks comes up, the legs may splay. They may go wide. So turn the balls of the feet slightly in. Press onto the big toe mounds. Secure the outer hips into the body. Firm in with the outer upper thighs.
Press the arms. Take the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling and in towards the face. And now slowly come down with the buttocks. Turn to the right. Come up. Take a look over here. Through the magic of Zoom, this always reminds me of like the Mary Tyler Moore show when Betty White was the cook and she'd put the cake in the oven and then she'd pull out a completely baked cake. So here's my completely baked setup for Setu Bandha Sarvangasana at the wall. Now, we're going to take Setu Bandha Sarvangasana at the wall. Keep watching, you'll have a chance to set up your props. That's going to look just like the pose you just did, but turned sideways. For those of you who are on your period, you'll take just Setu Bandha on a block. Let's go, everybody. Set up your blankets, shoulder stand style, Gangnam style. I put 2 blocks there to support my buttocks. That's optional. Once you fold the sticky mat over the blankets, bring the sticky mat not only towards the wall, but see if you can lift it slightly up the wall so that you're more condensed, more compact. Lie back. If you're on your period, go up for Setu Bandha on the block. Otherwise, position your shoulders near to the edge of that blanket height. Place your feet on the wall. It's really all the same elements from Chatushpadasana. Bring your upper arms close into your side ribs. Press your upper arms down. Lift your shoulder blades up into the front of the chest. Bear down on your outer shoulders to spread your collarbones. Take your outer shoulder blades to your inner shoulder blades. Take your inner shoulder blades towards your sternum bone. Now press the feet on the wall. Before you go for a big lift of the buttocks, first start to climb the top of the buttock up towards the back of the knees. Then engage the middle of the buttock and lift yourself up. Lift up. It can be hard to distinguish from this vantage point that your shins are running perpendicular to the ground. Do your best at that. Keep your feet positioned about hips width apart. Turn the balls of the feet slightly in towards each other to stay active at the outer hips and the outer upper thighs. Soften your head and neck, relax the front of your throat. Press the feet onto the wall. Draw the top of the buttocks up towards the backs of the knees. Notice in doing that, a lot of the buttock muscles become activated. Use them. Move the middle of the buttocks into the front of the pelvis. Sometimes when that happens, the legs unintentionally go wide. So turning the balls of the feet towards each other. Press onto the big toe mounds. Firm in with the outer hips. Firm in with the outer upper thighs. Now, this is a multi-level class. For the next minute or two, those of you who are practiced in Salamba Sarvangasana have the option of pressing off against the wall and coming into Salamba Sarvangasana 1. It's not required. It's just a way to accommodate having a class with people of various levels.
Keep the upper arms pressing down so the back chest is lifting up. So now I'm imagining that there are 3 different poses going on at the same time. Setu Bandha on the block, Setu Bandha at the wall, Salama Sarvandasana 1. If you've taken your legs off of the wall, lift the legs up, turn the outer upper thighs towards your face, and ascend the inner edges of your feet. Now, if you're in Salama Sarvangasana 1 with your legs away from the wall, bend your knees, touch the soles of the feet onto the wall. Remove your hands from your back. Everybody who's at the wall, slowly bring your torso down. If you're practicing Setu Bandha Sarvangasana on the block, lift off of the block, put the block flat, and rest your sacrum down on the flat height of the block while everyone else is resting on their shoulders. Now turn to the side, sit up. It's hard to believe we're already at the time of Shavasana. So this I would like Shavasana to happen today Salama style. So you can use a bolster with a combination of blankets. I've set up here with 1 blanket in a long fold, 1 blanket in a tri-fold, which is stepped back about 1 inch away from the edge of that first blanket, and also distance or stair step from the 2 sides of the blanket, and another blanket here for my head and neck. Keep watching. I'm starting here with my legs bent at the knees, and I want to make sure that the support, whatever I chose, is not touching into my low back. So with legs bent at the knees, I take my hands, lift up with the back chest, lie back, position myself symmetrically, evenly on the props, take my hands, move the buttocks away from the low back, bring the arms to the sides, and extend through the legs. Here we go. Salama Shavasana, everybody. This is Menzies friendly. You can take the pose flat, but I think for what will happen, a little bit of height under the chest is going to be to your benefit. Once you have your props arranged, sit in front of them, faced away from them, with your legs bent at the knees. Bring your hands behind you, press off of your hands to lift your back chest up. And with a lifted chest, lie back over your support. Don't extend the legs right off. First, check that you're evenly positioned over the props, left and right. If you're using a blanket to support the back of the head and the neck, pull that blanket in all the way so that it touches to the base of the neck, but does not go under the shoulders. Then bring your hands to the top of your buttocks. With your hands, move the buttocks away from the low back. Now let's do that again. Take the hands to the buttocks,
move the buttocks towards the lower back, and at the same time, on the front of the body, draw the sides of the pubis towards the navel. Then let go of that adjustment. Take the arms out to the sides with the palms facing up, and extend the legs. Relax your arms from the root of the bicep, the place where the bicep comes near the inner armpit. Relax from there downward towards the hands and outward towards the thumbs, palms facing up. Sort of a parallel approach with the legs. Relax the legs from the groins, the upper inner thighs, so that the release moves downward towards the feet and then outward towards the little toes. Let loose the limbs. Soften the features of the face. Put the tongue to rest on the low palate. With every exhalation, relax the weight of the eyeballs onto the beds of the eye sockets. So in that order of cultivating a deep state of relaxation, first we learn to let go of the limbs. Now that comes nicely after an asana class. The limbs, they've done their part. They're usually quite ready, quite willing to let go at this point. Let the release of the limbs be the foundation for softening and quieting the features of the face. If you're having trouble relaxing the limbs, that should be the focus of your shavasana. If that happened and you're working on cultivating a quiet face, then that should be the focus of your shavasana. If you've come along with me that far, where the face seems quiet, the attention inward looking, start to look at your breath. We're not going to do one of the established techniques in pranayama, but I'd like to pull in a little bit of a pranayamic awareness to the sides of the chest, the side ribs, which were the highlight in focus during the asana. So working smoothly, softly, quietly, at your own pace. See if you can guide every inhalation so that it slowly climbs up the side ribs from the top of the waist to the bottom of the armpits. Hopefully the asana brought a sensitivity to that area so that as the breath touches there, you'll get some palpable feedback. And on the exhalations, relax the belly towards the lower back and spread the center of the navel towards the sides of the navel.
Now, one of the keys to breath awareness and the things that go forward from there is having a light touch, a sensitive approach. So approach this with a very light hand. And see if you can create a rhythm where you guide each inhalation slowly up the side ribs. And during the exhalations, you soften and relax the belly downwards. Now, if you find at any point along this pranayamic awareness in Shavasana that tension is building, that there is physiological stress, respiratory stress, psychological distress, then that's the cue to move away from those techniques and just explore relaxing the limbs, relaxing the face, and deepening your experience of relaxation, of Shavasana. Every inhalation, see if you can go rib by rib, almost like that breath is stepping up the ladder of the side ribs, rib by rib by rib, from the top waist to the bottom armpit. Every exhalation, release of the abdomen, in general, a reset, a time to neutralize any tension that's building up. Now attempt your last breath in that manner. This should end with an exhalation. So over the course of the next 10, 20 seconds, begin a slow, steady exhalation that helps to remove any tensions away from you. Just rest there for a moment. As soon as you click that, change it. Ready to change it. Here, up, here, up one. Right there. Now slowly bend one leg. You can choose left leg, right leg. On one of your next couple of exhalations, if you bend your left leg, roll over your right hip and come onto your right side. If you bend your right leg, roll over your left hip, come onto your left side. Release the inner knee, inner shoulder, and face towards the ground. Make sure that the head and the neck are passive. Bring your hands under you. Press into your hands. Use your arms to slowly sit up
I believe that everyone is unmuted now. Can someone test that for me?
Hi, Bob.
Hi. Patrina, are you on? You should be able to unmute.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Bob. That was really great. And I do want to thank all of you for supporting the Midwest Studios and our excellent teachers.
Hey, yeah, thank you all for coming. For
Thank you.
those of you who were able to donate to the Poor People's Campaign, go William Barber. And a special thank you to IYAMW and Patrina for putting this together, for bringing us together for such a valuable cause.
Yeah, it's nice to get together, even if it's online. So, although I miss everybody.
It's what we have, so we're making lemonade.